Welcome to this lecture series on thermomissions. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about numerical problems on elastic compounded impulse turbine. In our last lecture, we were discussing about the simple impulse turbine, and we solved problems on simple impulse turbine. So in today's lecture, we are going to solve problems on elastic compounded impulse turbine. Let us go to the problem now. Here is the problem. And in the case of elastic compounded impulse turbine, normally you will have a nozzle followed by moving blade, set of moving blades. This is the first row of moving blade, and then you will have guide blade. Then we have again a set of moving blades. This is the second row of moving blades. So normally for elastic compounded impulse turbine, we will have multiple stages. So in this problem, we are going to have two stages of moving blades. Okay. So guide blades are similar to nozzles only. Okay. So the notation that we are going to follow are like this. Inlet to the moving blade, I am going to have subscript 1. Okay. Then when the fluid comes out from the moving blade at the first stage, it will be represented by subscript 2. Then as the inlet to the guide blade, inlet to the moving blade second row, it is 1 prime or 1 dash, and when the fluid comes out from the second row of the moving blade, its subscript is going to be 2 dash or 2 prime. Okay. And we know very well, like the nozzle angle is given by alpha and blade angle is given by beta. Right? And inlet blade angle is given by beta 1, outlet blade angle is represented by beta 2. Right? So this is for the first row of the moving blade. This is for the first row. Similarly, for the second row, the blade angles are represented like this: beta 1 dash and beta 2 dash. This is for inlet and this is for the outlet. So dash or the prime refers to the second row of the moving blade. Second row of the moving blade. Okay. So this one we are going to have. So like we can go to the problem now. Rest of the notations are exactly same. The extra thing that we are having here is 1 dash and 2 dash. In the case of simple impulse turbine, we used to have 1 and 2 subscript for the inlet and 2 for the outlet. So here it is going to be 1 dash and 2 dash for the second row of the moving blade. We will go to the problem now. Where is this? Coming to this problem, let us write the given data. Start with given data. What is given in this problem? The first stage of an impulse turbine is compounded for velocity. Compounding means you are going to have stages, okay, in multiple stages. Velocity compounding means we are going to reduce the velocity in different stages. As 2 rings of moving blades, that means there are 2 stages. Okay, 2 stages of moving blades and 1 ring of fixed blade. Fixed blade is nothing but the guide blade. It is similar to the nozzle. The nozzle angle is 20 degree. Alpha 1 is 20 degree. So this is the angle with which the fluid is going to enter into the moving blade. First stage of the moving blade. Then and the outlet blade angle. Blade angle is represented by beta. If it is outlet, then it is beta 2. So it is beta 2. Outlet blade angles of the first row of the moving blade is 20 degree, and fixed right blade angle. Fixed right blade angle is alpha 1 dash. Just like over it. This is how the fluid enters. Initially it enters the nozzle, then followed by moving blade first row. Then guide blade, then followed by moving blade second row. Then it leaves. Okay. So here it is 1, it is 2, it is 1 dash, it is 2 dash. Okay. So alpha 1 dash is the angle of the guide blade when the fluid enters into the second row of the moving blade. So fixed guide blade angle is 25 degree. This is given in the problem. And in the second row of the moving blade at the outlet, This is theta 2 dash. This is 30 degree. So velocity of the steam leaving the nozzle from the nozzle, outlet from the nozzle to the enter to the outlet from the nozzle to the enter to the first of the moving blade. So your velocity, inlet fluid velocity is given as 600 meter per second. Inlet to the first flow of the moving blade is velocity of the fluid is 600 meter per second, and the steam velocity related to the blade is reduced by 10% during the passage through each ring. So whenever the fluid passes through a blade, what is happening here? There is loss of kinetic energy. So that we call it as your outlet relative velocity upon inlet relative velocity is reduced by 10%. That means maybe W2 by W1 is 0.9. This is also applicable for your right blade, not only for the fixed blade. Okay. So I can say this is also applicable for the right blade. That means your C1 dash on C2. Yeah, C1 dash on C2 is also 0.9. Okay. Plus C1 dash on C2, that is also 0.9. W2 by W1, that is also 0.9. Find the diagram efficiency and the power parameter for a steam flow of mass flow rate of the steam is given now. It is given as 4 kg per second. And then the blade speed is given as 125 meter per second. Blade speed is going to be constant, which is 125 meter per second. What else is given? You want to determine? Calculate. Following parameters has to be calculated. Look at the diagram efficiency and power development. Power development. Turbine. And then diagram efficiency. Diagram efficiency is also called as blade efficiency. These are the two parameters which you are going to determine. Now we are going to construct the velocity triangle. To construct the velocity triangle, here we have two stages of moving blade. That means if we draw the velocity triangle twice. Okay? Let me start for the first stage of the moving blade. I am going to draw the velocity triangle. We are going to draw the inlet velocity triangle and outlet velocity triangle together. Right? So here we are going to follow geometrical method. So here we are going to use geometrical method to solve this problem. We are going to draw the velocity triangles for the first stage of the moving blade and for the second stage of the moving blade. Let us start with the first stage of the moving blade. What is the normal procedure? The procedure to solve this is that initially you have to take suitable scale. What is the velocity of the blade? 125 meter per second. You can consider like 1 centimeter refers to 1 centimeter refers to 25 meter per second. Because it is the scale which we are going to adopt. That is the case. You will consider. So initially you will draw. You will represent the blade velocity. I am going to draw the velocity triangle for the first row of the moving blade. I am representing this. You take 5 cm length. You draw a horizontal line for 5 cm. This is representing the blade velocity. Okay. This is representing blade velocity. Next step is that. After drawing this, we have to draw absolute velocity of the fluid. What is the fluid inlet velocity? C1 is 600 meter per second. You take suitable scale. So how much will be now? And alpha 1, the nozzle angle is known as 20 degree. You draw a line, incline at 20 degree. Incline at 20 degree. This is alpha 1. In this case, this is 20 degree. Alpha 1. This This is B. Fluid inlet velocity C1. This is blade velocity Q1. This we know. This is given. C1 is given. Take the corresponding scale and make an arc in the horizontal line that will represent the C1. So in the case of velocity triangle, we use to represent three different velocities. One is fluid velocity C1, then blade velocity U, then the relative velocity W. So with that, your velocity triangle completes. If you join these two, then it completes the inlet velocity triangle for the first tube of the moving blade. Relative velocity at the inlet for the first tube of the moving blade is W1. C1 is the fluid velocity, U1 is the blade velocity, W1 is the relative velocity. This C1 fluid velocity has two components. This you can resolve both horizontally and vertically. So resolve horizontally and vertically. Then you get the axial component and the inlet for fluid velocity. Axial component is known as CX1 and you get the tangential component. C/1. So direction of fluid flow is going to be like this. We are going to follow this. This direction represents the flow in this direction represents the tangential direction, and the flow along this direction represents the axial. So this is representing axial direction. So this is Cx1. Tangential is Cy1. Axial is given by Cx, tangential is given by Cy. Okay. So with this we complete the inlet velocity triangle. Also one refers to the nozzle angle. So blade angle at the inlet is given by β1. Okay. This completes our inlet velocity triangle for the first row of the moving blade. Now I am going to draw the outward velocity triangle for the first row of the moving blade. The outward velocity triangle is like this. We know the ratio of relative velocity at the outlet and relative velocity at the inlet. Okay. That is given as 0.9. So now we measure this distance. Okay. That multiplied by 0.9. That is the value of W2. Okay. Relative velocity at the outlet. Measure this distance and multiply by 0.9. So I am going to draw the W2 for this case. Before that, you should know the angle β2. What is the value of β2? β2 is given in this problem. See, normally we used to have symmetrical blade and asymmetrical blade. In case of your cylinder line, blades can be symmetrical and asymmetrical. If the blades are symmetrical, that means β1 is equal to β2. When you have asymmetrical blade, that means these two values will not be equal. They will be different and it will be specified in the problem. If the problem is specified that asymmetrical blade, then β1 equal to β2. Inlet blade velocity and outward blade velocity will be same. Whereas in this case, they are specified separately β2. Right? So for β2, they have specified the angle as 20 degree. So I am going to draw a line inclined at 20 degree from here. This is β2. Okay? And this line represents W2. So W2 plus this, how will you calculate W2? W2 is determined like this. W2 by W1 as 0.9. This is given the problem. From the inlet velocity triangle, we have determined this value. Therefore, we can find the value of W2. Right? That can be done. So now you know the value of W2. After knowing this value, and this angle is also given, this is also given as 20 degree. Now you have U, W2. This is missing. C2 for the outward velocity triangle, C2 is missing. Join this. You get the outlet fluid velocity C2. This outlet fluid velocity, again it has two components, both tangential and axial component. So resolve this both horizontally and vertically. Resolve this C2 both horizontally and vertically. Resolve vertically, then this is Cx2. Resolve horizontally, then this is C2. I can proceed this. For clarity, yes, C1 is here. So C2. So this completes the velocity triangle for the first stage. Right? If you want to calculate for the second stage, to calculate the velocity triangle, draw the velocity triangle for the second stage. From here you project vertically 2 lines. Right? Because your blade velocity is going to be constant throughout. Because in the case of your impulse turbine, we are going to have common shaft. All the blade rows are mounted on a single shaft. So we are going to have same blade velocity everywhere. Blade velocity is constant. I am going to draw for the second stage of the second row of the moving blade. I am going to draw the velocity angle. Right? So this is representing Q2, let us say. Now this is the blade velocity for the second row of the moving blade. But this is same. Everywhere it is Q. Right? So now to draw the inlet velocity triangle for the first stage of the moving blade, what you should know? C1 dash. Right? For the second row, everything we are going to represent by a prime or dash. C1 dash. So how will you calculate the value of C1 dash? What is the relationship given? C1 dash is C1 dash upon C2 is 0.9. What is the value of C2? From the velocity triangle of the first row of the moving blade, you can measure this. This is representing the value of C2, fluid velocity at outlet. So from the velocity triangle of the first row of the moving blade, we know this value and the ratio is given. So you know the value of C1 dash. So I am going to draw C1 dash here. And what is the value of the alpha 1 dash? Alpha 1 dash is given as 25. So I am going to draw a line inclined at 25 degree. This is alpha 1 dash, which is equal to 25 degree. To what extent you can draw? This is your inlet fluid velocity for the second row of the moving blade. Inlet fluid velocity for the second row of the moving blade, which is equal to 0.9 times C2. C2 we know. Multiply this by 0.9. That is this. So now you know the value of U. You know the value of U. We know the value of fluid velocity. Blade velocity is known. Fluid velocity is known. If you join this, so complete this triangle, then this indicates the relative velocity of the inlet for the second row. So that is represented as W1 dash. Okay. So now we are going to resolve C1 dash both horizontally and vertically. Resolve this horizontally and vertically. Resolve horizontally and vertically. Then we will get axial component for the second row of the moving blade at the inlet. CX1 prime. Then this is CY1 prime. Y1 prime. This C1 we have resolved both horizontally and vertically. Okay. So this completes the inlet velocity angle for the second row of the moving blade. And what is this angle? This is beta 1 prime. Beta 1 prime. This is alpha 1 prime. This is beta 1 prime. This is blade angle. This is from the guide blade angle. This is from the moving blade angle. So after this, we are going to draw the outlet velocity angle for the second row of the moving blade. To draw the outlet velocity angle, you should know beta 2 dash. This angle is beta 2 dash. A line corresponding to beta 2 dash, which is given as 30 degree. The problem is described as 30 degree. So this is W2 prime. This is W2 prime. Right? So the ratio of W2 prime upon W1 prime is given as 0.9. Problem. We know the value of W1 prime. This you can measure. Then we multiply it by 0.9. Then we will get this value W2 prime. After this, to complete the outlet velocity angle for the second row of the moving blade, this is W row, this is U, We join this. This represents outlet fluid velocity for the second of the moving blade. C2 prime. Now this C2 prime can be again resolved both horizontally and vertically. This can be resolved both horizontally and vertically. So vertical is nothing but the axial component of the fluid velocity at the outlet for the second of the moving blade. This represents the tangential component of the outlet for the second row of the moving blade. So this completes the velocity triangle for the second row of the moving blade also. So we have drawn the velocity triangle for the first row of the moving blade, and from this, by keeping u constant, we have drawn the velocity triangle for the second row of the moving blade. So here we have represented everything. So in the problem, they are asking to calculate the power developed. Calculate the power developed. Only calculate the power developed. Power developed is determined like this. Power developed. In the case of simple impulse turbine, how do we issue calculate? In the case of simple impulse turbine, we will have only one set of moving blade. So there, how do we calculate the power developed? Power developed is mass flow rate into blade velocity into C/1 plus C/2. This is for simple impulse turbine. If it is elastic compounded, so it is multi-stage. In this case, we have two stages of moving blade. So your power developed is, this is for the first stage plus C/1 prime plus C/2 prime. This is the total power developed for a elastic compounded impulse turbine. In this case, mass flow rate for this problem is given 4 kg per second, and we can substitute and calculate the value of blade velocity that is also specified in the problem. Blade velocity is specified as 125 meters per second. C/1, C/2, you have to calculate from the first row unit velocity, from the velocity triangle from for the first row of the moving blade. You can find C/1 and C/2. We have measured this. This is C/2 and this is C/1. And from the velocity triangle of the second row of the moving blade, C/1 and C/2. Substitute here, calculate this. Total amount of power developed by the turner, by the turbine. And for the second subdivision is that we have to determine the blade efficiency or diagram efficiency. So blade efficiency. How to calculate the blade efficiency? Blade efficiency is power developed by the runner or the turbine divided by inlet energy in which the fluid is entering. So the fluid that is entering into the turbine, it possesses kinetic energy. So kinetic energy of the fluid with which it is entering. So runner power is m dot into Q into C/1 plus C/2 for the first row of the moving blade. C/1 prime, C/2 prime. This is for the second row of the moving blade. Divided by kinetic energy of the fluid. This is half m C1 square. That is blade efficiency. So m will get cancelled. If you want, you can strike out this. So C1 is the inlet fluid velocity, which is specified in the problem. U is the blade velocity, that is also given in the problem. C/1, C/2, C1 prime, C/2 prime. All this we have to determine from the velocity triangle. We have to measure and multiply with the scale that we have considered. That will give you the blade efficiency.